Well, we had to do a new project for the greenhouse. Our tap water presently is coming out about 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and when we add it to our mix for our hydroponic greenhouse, it's just too cold and stresses out the plants. So using our backup wood burner that we have to heat the greenhouse and also the head house, I'm going to tie a heat exchanger, water heat exchanger, into the boiler system that will just kind of knock the coldness off the water coming into the greenhouse. That was just the water line, and looking out the window to the boiler. What I'm going to use for pipes today on this project is 1.25 inches with a 3/4 inch water line. And the idea is to have the boiler water circulate around the 3/4 inch water line enough that it'll take the coldness off and hopefully get it up to about 60-70 degrees. I don't need to make it hot water, I just need to get it to a reasonable temperature so that I don't stress out the plants. These fittings all have a knob in the inside of them that needs to be taken off so that you can actually run the 3/4 line right through the inside of it. So I used a Dremel and a little bit of sandpaper and got that cleaned up so that the fitting would actually fit over the 3/4 inch pipe. The idea then is to insert the 1.25 inches over the top of it, and again that should make a watertight connection to allow the hot water from the boiler to circulate around the water line and actually warm it up. If you haven't done any plumbing, the best thing that you need to know is that you really need to make all these fittings really super clean and use a good quality flux and solder. So that hasn't been done yet at this point. Right now I'm just trying to trial fit all the parts together, make sure that the idea that I have in my head is going to work. Those are PEX pipe fittings, and the boiler water that the lines that are coming off the boiler are 1 inch PEX fittings. The water line is also PEX, but again it's 3/4. And that was the 3/4 inch fitting that'll tie into the water line. The idea is to make two of these, one that's going to go vertical and one that's going to go horizontal. And I'm going to tie them together with that 3/4 inch 90. Again, just dry fitting all the pieces, making sure that the idea is going to work. At this point, I realize I have a little bit of a problem. the hot water, what I wanted to do is enter the bottom there, come up, and then tie into the top one. I was going to use a little piece of PEX pipe, but I don't want to put too many 90s in it because it slows down the volume of water that can go around, and it's also hard on the pump. So after looking at it at this point, I've decided that I'm just going to use a 90, copper 90 there, 1¼ inch, to make that connection. Unfortunately, I didn't have one, so I had to go back to the store and get another piece, but I think that's the way that the best way to go. At this point, I'm just trying to turn it around and seeing if I can come up with an idea to flip it around and make it work today, but a lot of times that's not the best way to go. You just have to take your time and do it another time when it works better. Just trying to change off parts, seeing if I can make it work. That's basically the layout, and that's what we're going to go with. Here you can see I put a 90 in, soldered all the joints, hooked it into the boiler system with PEX, put a couple valves on, and I actually added a gauge with the pressure so I could keep the track of the temperature and the water pressure. Hope you liked the video.